showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Silent and profiling. Woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report, brought to you by the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP, from the 313, and by my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, brother.
Yeah, man.
Happy day before the trade deadline that we will not be doing anything for. Cheap free agents. That's what Beane does.
Cheap free agents. Real quick, get into the chat. Jason, Beane isn't getting any of the guys that I pictured. And I replied back, Beane may not be getting any guys in any picture. Just saying. And that's the truth. Scott, Beane needs to find a new head coach. Ooh, that's a good take.
We had a conversation about that today. Yeah. We had a conversation about that today, didn't we?
We did. Yes. Here, what else am I missing? We need a cornerback. That is true. I believe that as well. Cheers, buddy. Cheers to you as well. And Johnson from Chicago. Yeah, he's been the hot talking point. Today.
Let's hit Carl's comment here. Two defensive ends were the first to be traded at the deadline. Contavious Street from the Eagles, and Seattle's acquired. Although Leonard Williams really isn't a D end, and neither is Street. They're both D ends and 3-4s, but they're really D tackles, and they're more 3-tech D tackles. Street is a rotation guy, to where Leonard Williams has a little bit more juice to him, but he's making a ton of money in this last year of his deal, and doesn't really fit what we would need.
Right.
So yeah, but you're starting to see that because of some big wins yesterday. There's a few teams that probably won't be making any deals.
Yep.
Tennessee Titans are one of them. Everyone assumed D-Hop would be available, and then he goes out there and drops. Yeah, or Henry. He goes out and drops 3 touchdowns.
I still think though. And I don't think I believe you're right. Like some of these teams are now they're like, oh, we won a game. Like, oh, there's a chance. And Levis comes in and, oh man, you never know. Like, I still think it's a mistake though for the Titans, because you got to build around that kid. And how do you build around the kid? You do it around draft picks, right? You had one good game. I listen, I like what I saw on him the other day, but it's still, he's going to go through some growing pains his first year, which is his first year now. If I'm them, I am 100% going young, stockpiling draft picks. Now you got your guy in place, maybe. But they're not going to do that, right? It doesn't, but we'll see. Now, the deadline is tomorrow. Also, another weird thing from another team, the Denver Broncos said, Sean Payton said, nope, don't even come and knock it.
Nope, that's not what he said. It got re-clarified.
Got re-clarified? Okay.
Yeah, it got re-clarified. He said that he is not shopping them. He will listen, but he is on to next week.
All right, so he'll listen. Okay, so he'll pick the phone call up.
Yes.
But he's not putting anyone.
Roy, so help me God. If Levi Wallace is the guy we trade for,
I told Mikey that,
I will boycott this regime. I will be on here and I will shit talk them forever.
Yeah.
Do not bring that guy back here. He's having a horrible season in Pittsburgh. Why the hell would we want him back? Oh, that is so Buffalo Bills. And
it would. I'm gonna tell you right now, like it wouldn't shock me if that happened, because they love their old players. Like, it would not shock me. Probably be a cheap trade. Not much you have to give up on it.
I will lose my shit. I will lose
Matt
my shit.
C. Buffalo doesn't get a cornerback by tomorrow. We're going to get smoked by Cincy, and we're not getting past the first round of the playoffs. This franchise is mid as
Buck. Minute Buck. I will tell you, I don't think getting a corner tomorrow fixes our issues for Cincinnati. No corner that's walking through that door is going to be able to pick up this defense unless it's Levi Wallace. And if it's Levi Wallace, he's not helping us.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a top-notch corner starting right away, which would be tough because you got to know the defense, McDermott's defense. But I still think for a defender, it might be a little easier to pick up than on offense. I think game plan, I think a defender could learn that pretty quick, or at least cover. You wouldn't need that many, much time, at least in my opinion. So would he be available for the Cincinnati game, even if we got the best one out there? Probably not anyway. So, but yeah. And by the way, Chuck was coming in sick of the low floor players. Yeah, but that's
what he does.
What we do, man.
Here
comes Marlo.
Here comes Marlo.
Dude,
he does nothing for us either. Justin, you're preaching what me and Tommy have been feeling. If Beane does nothing, his stubbornness is just beyond me.
Dude, we talked about this in the offseason before anything even happened. Like, listen, I put out a tweet today, like, just to remind everybody on how often Brandon Beane does in-season trades for players. He's done it 3 total times since becoming GM in 2017. He did it once in 2017 with Kelvin Benjamin, gave up a 3rd and a 7th. And then he didn't do it until 2022 for Nyheim Hines and D. Marlowe. That's it, folks. So none of those are even splash moves. I guess you could say maybe at the time, maybe he thought Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin at the time. Yeah,
he might have been the splash move because the 3rd round is that's a lot to give, man. The 7th, who cares about? But either way, though, there's been talk since 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 about us making moves or this potential player.
Never
we can
happens.
Get this player, and it's never happened. I don't even know if it was ever close, though. We'll never know. But he just doesn't, guys. He just doesn't like to roll the dice when it comes to trading for players. He'll trade a player away, which is odd, but he won't trade for a player and give up assets, which is draft picks. Let's be real. And we said it last week on our podcast that, we love Brandon Beane. We love everything he's done here. He's done a really, really good to great job. But when we look back, if he doesn't make any moves, when we look back on his run at GM, we're all going to say, man, really good GM, but stubborn as shit. We had opportunities to probably get so-and-so and so, and he didn't do it. And there's going to be a lot of what ifs he did. What if he did do that, pull the trigger, and we got this guy that went to another team? What frustrates me the most, Mikey, is watching the deadline go by, the hours go by, the minutes go by, and we're going to see teams tomorrow with trades. And we're going to say, what the because some of them are going to go through for 4th rounds, 5th, 3rd, even a 2nd. We're going to go, we could have had him for that. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't make the call on the guy, maybe, but I also feel like Beane is very tough to work with, I think.
Well, you have to remember, Beane very much sets a value on something, and he refuses to come off of it. Even his own guys. He sets a value on you, and he refuses to come off of it. Carl comes in and says, I think we need a nose tackle 1 tech. Greg Thompson recommended Andrew Billings from Chicago or Mike Purcell from the Denver Broncos. What we can afford? What do you think? I think Andrew Billings would be ideal. Either one of those guys would be a better 1 tech than what we have on the roster. I would love to see either one of those guys plus Puna as our rotational guys and send a settle in that deal to help offset money. But here's the thing. And I told Tommy this earlier. I truly don't think we're going to get a defensive tackle. And the reason why I don't think we're going to get a defensive tackle, I truly believe Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane have so much confidence and loyalty in not only the players that they have here, but their coaches that they can coach up anybody, even though it's proven they can't,
Right.
That they feel that they're going to be able to get by and get us into the playoffs when Daquan returns at the end of the year.
Right.
So I think they're just holding out hope that that's what they're going to do. Justin, I would be all for going to get into Dominican soon.
Now, see, okay, we're going to talk about something real quick, and we're going to continue this free agent talk. So, one move we did today, and I'm sure a lot of you, if not all of you, know, Leonard Fournette today signed with the Buffalo Bills. It was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago. We all kind of got excited, and then it was just scratched and said, "Nah, we're good." And then that quickly changed after last weekend's game for some reason or the other. I have my thinking on that. I have a feeling something with Harris probably is going on where maybe he may not return, or maybe they think it's one of those prolonged injuries that, or it's just not safe for him to come back, or he feels it a certain way about it. That's my thinking. I could be wrong, guys. So don't get me on that one if he does come back. Now Sue is a free agent. He's another guy I would absolutely love, and it would make sense. The Fournette, I think, makes sense, especially if Harris isn't coming back, for sure. And Sue would make a lot of sense, depending, of course, what he wants. But you got to remember, though, he would have to pass a physical. We don't know what kind of condition he's in. It's been a while, right? He's a heavier guy. I don't, you know what I mean? So it may take Sue a little bit to get back into NFL shape compared to like Leonard Fournette. I'm just saying, I could be wrong, and the guy's been working out all off season. But I'm just saying it's a little bit different for that position.
Well, he did it last year. He came right in, and
right. You are right. He did come in for Tampa, right? He got Tampa.
No, we went to the Eagles.
Tampa, or
he went to the Eagles last year.
Eagles. You're right. You're right. Okay.
He came in and he just rotated.
You're right. He did. So maybe he's that kind of guy, and that would be cool. I'd be all up for it, but still, this is cheap way, free agent way. We're talking. Beane needs to get a deal done for a player that moves the needle, and we'll go through them, but I don't think it's going to happen, guys. I hate to say it. I think this is what Beane's doing right now is searching for the cheaper options.
Yep.
I could be wrong, and maybe tomorrow great deals come through, but
Chuckles comes in and says, if we do make a trade, what position do you want to trade for? I think we can go and get a Sue or something like that on the defensive line. We don't need to trade for a D-line. I think it's correct. And my ideal pick is Jalen Johnson from Chicago.
I think
he's 24. He has both man and cut in zone skills. He is in the last year of his deal. So if we did send something for him, and I think you could probably get him for a day 2 plus pick, maybe they would want Kaiir. Maybe you can shoot him over to Chicago in that deal. I mean, maybe the pick isn't as high if you send Kaiir with him, so it'll be interesting to see. Murray's 33 years old. What'd that say? They need someone else like Harris to take the load off of Murray. My question is, did they decide Ty Johnson is not that type of cat. He's not that type of back. Ty Johnson is more of a special teams back. I think them bringing in Fournette, he's more of a hammer than what we have on our roster, though.
Oh, 100%, dude. Go back and watch his film from last year. He can run over dudes. He's not
21.
Yeah, he's 6 foot. He's 6 foot, 225 pounds. He was like that in college. One of the better running backs ever, really, in college. He was a beast. So I don't know. He trust me when I tell you, he can lower the shoulder and make you pay to try to tackle him. He's not an easy tackle. Now, of course, we haven't seen him run this year. Last year, though, he had 1,200 all-purpose yards, a little over. I mean, that's a really good season, guys, for a guy that's aging. He still has some juice in the tank. So, exactly. Fournette can block, and that's another thing.
Too. He's a great.
No, I know that's a great. Yeah. He is. That's what I mean. He had 1,200 all-purpose. I think he had 600, a little over 600 receiving last year, or something like that, and or 600 running, a little over 500 catching, something like that. But that is right there is what for me the Fournette can block. That's the one thing that James Cook struggles in, man, and that's what a guy like Fournette can come in and still, be your pass catcher out of the backfield. And Murray can do that too, but I think Fournette a little bit more dynamic right now, though I haven't seen Fournette this season than Murray will be. But I love Murray, by the way. I hope Murray still continues in the game plan and everything like that. But
Hidden
good
trick
with that.
comment. I want the Bills to get Jalen Johnson, but if we do that, then we're definitely moving off some guys in the offseason. We're going to have to move off some guys in the offseason regardless. This is the last year with this crew. This offseason, you're going to see
a lot of guys.
A lot of guys are probably going to be out the door, and you're going to see a lot of retooling from the Bills. So I would love to see the Jalen Johnson come in.
I would too.
It gives you someone in that secondary to build around. The key, what Trey used to be. Trey was that young up-and-comer cornerstone that you built around. And then you got Hyde and Poyer, And we're going to go through some guys in the secondary, and we'll pick different positions to look at who are going to be free agents next year that we can kind of, dream about. But
Trey would be the one guy, if we did get Jalen Johnson, that would be the question mark, I think, on everyone's mind. Would he take a pay cut? Would the Bills, if he doesn't, would the Bills cut him, save some money? There is quite, because I would still, if Trey is willing to come, even if who knows where he is mentally, if he wants to even, I can't speak for him, but come back to play football after all that. But he'd be a great number 2, because Johnson clearly would, we'd have to be our number 1 at that point, I think. Would Trey take a pay cut to come back? You know what I mean? To stay with the team? If so, I'd be up for it,
Yeah. Trek, no one's trading for Trey White next year.
No,
coming off a knee and Achilles, no one's, and that high cap, no one's trading for him. So
now somebody would sign him if we cut him. You know what I mean?
But we would have to.
But that's a risky sign as well, too. You know what I mean? For somebody. So, what up, Connor, man?
Spears, I don't know if it's now or never for Super Bowl. It's not. This. It has to be this year. It's never going to happen. It's now or never for this group.
I would say I agree with Mikey on that. It's not never now for this season. It has to be a Super Bowl. But I will say the window's slightly closing. It's starting to, close a little, especially if things don't change, meaning players start to rebel against the current coaching staff and want out, and things start turning for the worse. Now, do I see that happening, Mikey? No, but if our coach keeps doing the things he's doing, it's possible, guys. And I'm just saying, the last thing we need is like a disgruntled locker room or something, a coach that's keeping players on a team that shouldn't be kept on a team, or starting players over other players that he shouldn't start, first round picks that are getting benched. Little things like that are concerning for me. I'm just saying. So I would say the window's slightly closing, but we're still good for now. But things have to be addressed. And there's guys that we're going to be losing next year, Mikey, that they need to replace. Clearly, the cap thing is always a concern, even though I still think it could be worked out. But next year's cap's a little low. So they're going to have to really rely on the draft and some key free agents that are probably low-cost free agents. We'll see what happens in the trade here. If there's any trades tomorrow, which could fill some positions like a corner. Let's say they trade for Johnson, right? And they redo his contract. Let's say they do that right away. Okay, cool. We locked our corner up, right? Our future corner. But now you probably got to worry about CB2. Is that going to be, Benford, or do they go through the draft for another corner? Right. And then you got the defensive tackle. Now you got to worry about Daquan Jones. Are they going to resign him? Are they going to let him walk? Now we need another DT. So there's a lot of things I think we need to do. Then you got Micah Hyde, right? His contract's up. Now who's going to fill his spot, So DeMar, so there is questions next year. And I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. It's our window's closing for a lot of the guys on this year's squad.
Yeah. And when you say window closing, it's window closing with this group. I don't think the window's closed for.
No, I know that. And I didn't say closing. I said I think it's starting to slowly close if things don't get addressed or fixed or whatever. They have to, Mikey. You can't keep going with Sean McDermott as head coach and just screwing things up.
I think we're looking at windows differently.
I'm saying crack. Yeah. I'm saying very.
I'm not saying. Okay. I think windows are set up by the core of each talent. The core of those players. This core's window is this year. After this year, that core window is closed because those guys are going to be all split up. And then we're going to open up a new core window, which as long as you have the quarterback, your window is open.
True, as long as you have a happy quarterback and a quarterback that's not handcuffed, and who knows what's going to happen next year, depending on this year's goes with our offensive coordinator and Sean McDermott and all that. So
that's the future.
No, I know. And I'm just saying fans are disgruntled, not the players, but that's not true, Scott. Like clearly there was one disgruntled and he was one of the best players on the team, Stephon Diggs. So that's not always true what you say there. Trust me when I tell you, if one player is disgruntled, there's going to be more to follow if things don't change or get better. And why was Stephon Diggs disgruntled? It had really nothing to do with numbers. He had one of his best seasons of his career last year. It had to do with what's going to be different. Why is this 2023 season going to be any different? And I think McDermott took offense to that, and that's why they had that falling out, in minicamp. But, yeah, of course players can get disgruntled all day. Look around the league. Happens all the time. All the time. So don't just think that our guys are this, we're good with the check. Fuck it. I'll sit on the bench or I don't care. Nah, man, like a lot of these players want to win. Now there is some players that don't give a shit. They'll take the check, but the good, usually the prime time big guys do care. They want a Super Bowl. They don't want to stick with the team for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then like, what the fuck happened? I just wasted my whole career on a team and a coach that didn't know what the hell he was doing. I love the guy, but what did we do here? And that's why I think like players like Stephon Diggs don't want, like he fears that. He doesn't want to look back and go, damn, I spent all my time at Buffalo. Nothing. I got nothing to show for it. So yeah, I don't know if
it's not just one. It's not just one.
No, I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's just, but that's how I feel. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, that's fine. And if you remember, just 2 weeks ago, Von Miller came out and said, I want Josh to play like Josh.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That was low key calling out the coaches on unleash the guy. I came here because of him. He's not playing his game right now, and I felt that he was calling out. And then look, the very next game, they design a quarterback run for him. He takes off running. Like all of a sudden, the handcuffs are off of him again. And that was Vaughn going to the media saying, "Listen, unleash the dude, let him play."
Right. This isn't the guy I fell in love with, like the guy that called me on the phone and said, "Hey, you want to come to Buffalo?" Like, I saw that guy. I feared that guy if I played him. Like that guy was legit. Like he pretty much said, "I don't know who the fuck this guy is," but we need that back because he even said, "I don't give a shit if you throw 6 interceptions. He's gonna have some bad games, but let the dude play." Like without really coming out and saying, "McDermott, what the fuck are you doing?" Like that's not how Josh plays. So yeah, that's not good either, guys.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about the Sherfield thing? I think so too. I think if there's players that need to be involved in a trade, if Beane does it, there is some players, and I think Sherfield would have to be one of them because he's not part of the plan. And I also think Kaiir Elam isn't part of the plan. So those guys should be, in my opinion, be involved in a trade if that's what's needed. So if a team wants a receiver back, I would say Sherfield because he's not doing anything. I would say Elam because Elam's not even playing. In my opinion,
his response there was about who's going to complain. I don't think Sherfield is the guy who's going to complain, though. It's not his personality.
Sherfield bought a house. Well,
yeah, it's very much like Josh's personality isn't to complain either.
Exactly.
It's not the personalities. I don't think Sherfield's going to go and say anything. I think he'll have that conversation internally. He won't go to the media. We'll never hear about it if he complains.
I agree. Because if you wind up getting like a receiver, let's say, which I don't think it's going to happen. I would like one, but I don't think it's going to. I would much rather have a corner. But I'm saying I wouldn't mind it either, just to up our offense a little bit. But if you did get a receiver, then yeah, you'd have to really start wondering what you're going to do because then they got a boatload of receivers. But corner would be my ideal spot right now. If you're going to pick one, we only could have one. I would say corner as well, Mikey. But I do hope there's multiple trades. I just don't feel like it's gonna. I don't feel like any trade is gonna happen. But we'll find out tomorrow. Maybe Beane shocks me.
I swear to God, and Triggs may have been kidding. I pray to God he's kidding. He said Beane's going to make a trade for Levi and then take a swing on Johnson. I swear to God, if I wake up and Levi's the one he trades for and he doesn't bring Johnson in, I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah,
I want no part of that guy. No part of him.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
And if you get him and then you get me Jalen Johnson, I won't boycott. But if that's who the replacement is,
it wouldn't even make sense though. Why would you trade for 2 unless he's so cheap? 7th rounder for Levi, fine, I guess. You know what I mean? Whatever. But then are you getting rid of Elam for good then? Because that's 2 corners on a trade. It's like now you got a lot of corners. Like, I don't know. That's just weird to me. Why would you get
I don't know.
2?
I would almost rather Josh Norman than Levi Wallace.
Yeah, and what is Levi even doing this year?
Nothing. I mean, he's got benched.
Right.
He got
benched. So why would he do anything here? I'm good with him staying right where he's at, and that's a bench.
Oh man, Eli, that
how about take a page out of a lot of guys? Like, I'm telling you, man. Listen, it's when you're a team that's you think you're ascending, you're going places, you have a play, you think you're a playoff team. Every team trades, man, or at least attempts or is in the mix. Like, we have never, not once, bro, been like a team that took roll of the dice on these trades, man. I mean, and maybe we're right. Maybe that in-season trade for Benjamin really
ruined him.
Fucked his head up. I don't know, man, because it's odd to me. He did it. It was weird that he did it his very first year as GM, Mikey. He's like, you know what? Joshie's a receiver, which is good thinking, right? It is. I understood that, right? Or actually, it wasn't even Josh. It was 2017. So it was actually Tyrod Taylor. What am I talking about? But I'm sure he was thinking long run. So you get this guy. We draft the quarterback. Now we got a stud receiver, right, for whatever quarterback we draft. And it didn't work out. Okay, it is. Listen, I don't think anyone right now is going, 3rd round pick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody. It is what it is, man. Take the roll of the dice. I'm not going to get mad at you if you trade for a guy and for some reason it didn't work out. I say, hey, fuck, dude. At least he fucking tried. At least he rolled the dice for a change. But not doing anything is worse to me. Way worse. So, that's how I see it.
Beth, the 10 draft picks, you have to remember, he's probably going to use some of those in the draft next year to move up and down. That was the plan of getting those draft picks. We won't use all 12. But, oh, my God, I'm getting nauseous when I think about it.
Resign Butler and Wall. I think it would be the last time we saw Mikey on this podcast because he would not want to talk any Buffalo Bills.
Nope.
If both those came back, it'd be a double whammy for Mikey. He would be
I couldn't do it. Or you guys would be like, Mike's super negative, and I will be negative until those guys are gone. Because I hate both of those guys.
Beane just gets on the phone and gets all his former players. Cole Beasley, John Brown, Carlo Chule.
You're going to make me throw up, Tommy. Stop it.
Let's just bring back the old cast, man. Trent Murphy. Hey, what are you doing, Murphy? Are you good?
Ramon Humber? Gotta go get Ramon Humber. Remember when they started Ramon Humber over Matt Milano?
Of course.
That was McDermott's thing.
Still a
trade. He's gonna trade to get Starr back.
I know. Can you imagine that? Bobby Hart comes back.
Sighted at Arby's in Orchard Park.
I bet he is too. Just waiting by his phone. He's already here because he's in Buffalo because he's like, I'm sure they're gonna call. Oh my God.
I'm with you on that.
Dang. Well, I care about that. Now we have 10 of them. At least give me 5 or 6 for the draft. I need something, even if it's a 3rd round, 4th round, 5th.
If they traded
something,
if they traded their day 1 and day 2 picks to go get needle movers this year, would you be upset?
No, depending on the guy. So
they go get Jalen Johnson, right?
And but are these guys they plan on signing though?
Yes.
Or are they just alone?
If you're giving up your day 1,
I'm just asking, because obviously,
yeah.
So yes, no doubt, because listen, you did it for. We talked about this. We did it for Diggs. Nobody's in this chat, including my co-host Mikey next to me, is complaining that we gave up a 1st round picks for Stephon Diggs. Ain't nobody, right? No. Nobody even talks about it because it's pointless to talk about. It was a good trade. It was a smart trade. And we gave up more than 1st round. I think we gave up 1st round and another round pick. But No, if you get, let's say you get Johnson, we base him as a what? What do you base him? A first round? Like he would be a first round pick today?
Jalen Johnson? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
So what is the point, right? You got your guy. There's no need to go get another Kaiir Elam and mess up. Now, I don't think Kaiir Elam's that terrible, but I'm just saying, you know what you got getting in him. It's already done. Get it over with. Pay the dude. And get rid of the first. That's fine. I would be all for, because listen, what is the first round pick anyways if you're going to the Super Bowl or at least getting far in the playoffs? It's a 29, 30, 31st, 32nd pick.
Yeah.
It's basically second round. What are we really losing at that point? So I would totally be up for a first or second round, depending on the player.
Would you give up
obviously
your first, second, and third round pick next year to get 2 needle movers?
Yes. For 2, 100%.
Yeah. So
no doubt about it.
And you could pick the positions, or whatever they decide to be,
Yeah,
I would
100%. 100%. 100.
But
now,
whose head would explode?
Way, no.
You know whose head would explode to even hear something like that? Our
GM's.
Our GM's head would explode if he even heard something like that. Give up what? All my day wanted to do 2 picks?
Yeah, no.
Never
obviously that it would be crazy. People would talk about it. Obviously the people have a field day on that, but honestly, it just depends. I would say also too, but you got to remember, like Jalen Johnson's young, right? He's still young. So it's not like you're getting that's what I mean. So it's not like you could sit back and go, oh, but they traded for a 32-year-old guy and give him a first round. Like you still have a very young guy, almost like you're drafting a rookie. Some guys are even close to that age anyway, some of them. Yeah. So no, 100%. I'd be cool with it.
Kincaid is
it just
24.
Depends on the player, depends on his age. You know what I mean? Like, but then I would say, hey, yeah, if they're a younger player, still in their prime, still got a good amount of time left, playing the way they are at a high level. Yeah, I would totally be fine with it. Like,
Steve.
Because go back in our draft picks to see some of our draft picks that haven't worked out. It was funny. Somebody talked about running backs today. Mikey, how many running backs have we drafted and that we went ahead and got, like, we're worried about other running, like we have to pick up other running backs.
And you want to know what's crazy? Both the running backs that we drafted that moved on to other teams are actually doing better than they did in Buffalo. So maybe it's not the running backs and it's the scheme.
Right. I still think Devin Singletary was a really good back, man. I think
Zach Moss is killing it in Indy.
No, he's doing a great job. 100%.
He's a top 3 running back this year. Like in your.
No, I know. Listen. My thing with Zach Moss is just obviously I thought at that time, and maybe he improved because even his first year with Colts was a little shaky, though he did show a little, better than he played with us. But this year now, maybe he worked on his game and stuff like that. We just didn't give him a chance. But either way, I was fine moving on with Zach Moss, but I get what you're saying. It could have just been our coordinators cannot scheme. Our coordinators cannot get them involved. Also, offensive line didn't help either. I keep saying that offensive line was trash while all those running backs were here. Let's be real, guys.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's just take the Colts, for example. Last year, their offensive line was one of the worst in the league.
Oh, you got somebody trolling.
Oh, that's
here.
No. Yeah.
Who's this, Joe? Who's this?
No, it's probably Mario. Probably Mario.
Mario?
Probably Mario.
Oh, man.
That was my guess.
He's Paul or Mario? I'm thinking Mario. He likes to do that.
Probably Mario.
Joe. Joe wouldn't do that.
No, but Mario and Paul would. It's Mario. I told you. Talking about the offensive lines, though, if you look at the Colts last year, their offensive line was one of the bottom. They didn't really make any changes to their offensive line. They brought in a new head coach and offensive coordinator, changed the scheme, and it's doing well now. It's all about scheme. It's like if you scheme to your players' strengths, things go better.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's just one of the.
By the way, shout out to. Real quick, if y'all don't know in the chat, #sports, Mario and Paul. That's where me and Mikey first started a podcast together. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here doing a podcast with y'all. So we always have love for #sports for giving us the opportunity and linking us up. So they'll have a special place in our heart always. So if you don't know hashtag, you should go ahead and subscribe to their channel, man.
Absolutely. I started as, somebody in the chats giving Mario crap. So him and Paul, said, why don't you come on and talk about your opinions?
It's so damn much.
Yeah. All right. So let's pop that up. Let's look at some free agents next year that could.
Yeah, let's
be
do it.
on the
Let's
block.
do it. Let's do it.
So everyone's talking about it. Corner's probably where we want to go, right? So corners, like these are the upcoming, free agents this
Man, what a
offseason.
dick.
Right?
What a dick.
Love you too, Spin. By the way, Spin, I didn't see you last weekend, so I hope your fantasy team did well enough. You weren't there to get my knowledge. Adoree Jackson, this is one of the guys who've been popped up, right? And he seems to be one of those guys who's on, that's always rumored to Buffalo. I was listening to Locked On Giants recently, and they were talking about, Adoree Jackson. They just want to get rid of him. They're like, what if it was a straight trade, Kaiir for Adoree Jackson? Would you be interested in a move like that?
All right, trade for Adoree Jackson. Who? I'm sorry.
For Kaiir, straight player for player.
Yes. Yeah. At this point,
remember, Adoree is in the final year of his contract.
I'm almost willing to take a couple pizzas right now for Kaiir Elam. I'm going to be honest with you. Like at this point, because we're not I'm just saying, Mike, we're not using them. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Because I mean, Adoree Jackson's the guy who can also play both man and zone. Fast guy. He's better than the two that we have today. He's not having the best year in Wink system, but he's one of those fundamental guys who I think could actually fit better with the Bills. Food trade for Tommy?
Hell yeah, bro. Give me a yeah. All right. Hey man, I got a couple pizzas. Give me Elam. Yeah,
I like that. Mario comes in and says depends on who stood on the table for Elam. Honestly, if it was Joe Shane, then maybe they make that deal.
That's true. He was part of that. So,
and they're looking to go younger. I personally think Kaiir fits better in the Wink Martindale system than he ever would in the Sean McDermott defense. The press man. That's what Kaiir came from, and that's what Wink does. But then you have Kendall Fuller.
Fair point.
Yep. For the Commanders, they have a couple young guys, so Kendall Fuller could be somebody who is on the market tomorrow. Stephon Gilmore's not going anywhere.
No. He's not.
Booth. We wanted Booth when we drafted Elam. Look at the cap numbers on Jackson. The Bills can't handle. But if they eat it, just like they ate all the money on Leonard Williams, if they're going to eat the contract, then it's just a player for player.
Yeah, you never know how these trades go. Like a lot of these trades go down like that, where a team chews most of the contract up to make it work, getting back a pick or a player. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, because the way the Giants are viewing this is they're not in cap trouble right now, so they're willing to eat the money, to send the player off to get a better asset in return. So if they're willing to eat his contract, and we have to give up Elam and maybe, a late round pick, I would do it.
Yep. And Jason saying listen, I think he made the deal last year. It was like 358. It was like the latest. It was like the matter of fact, the last trade that came in for Marlowe wasn't even announced till like 4:30. It was like one of the latest trades that came in. So I definitely can see that happening for him, stalling time, waiting for the last second. If he makes a trade. Hashtag Beane would have to pull off some Howie Roseman deals for a lot of 40 years.
Only if we were going to re-sign him. If they're sending the money with it and they eat the thing, then we don't have any money on our cap this year. And, we trade it. Because that's the reason why Seattle got, or Seattle traded a second and a future fifth was so the Giants would eat the money on this year's deal. Though then they'll re-sign him and go that way. So they basically got him for nothing.
Should we saying the cap is a myth? It's real, but I gotta say it can always be. You can massage it. And it's done every single season, guys. Like, that's why I always tell people, don't get too caught up in the cap space. If a GM really wants a player, they pretty much can get a deal done. It happens all the time. So I like that's one talk I hate, Mikey, when people are like, put the cap, we don't have any money. It's like, bro, we've seen teams say they have no money. We've had a team that had no money with Brandon Beane saying that, and we've always made deals, always get deals done. It's just how you work, and they know that's what their job is. They're GMs. They know how to work the cap. So don't get too caught up in the money. It can always be worked out.
Triggs, I don't want Florida corners ever. They never work out. Spence, Johnson, Sanborn, Billings for a third, fifth, seventh, and Elam. I would absolutely love that because it fixes a lot of our issues. However, Sanborn is now going to be the starter. Tremaine Edmonds got hurt last night.
I saw,
and
man.
He didn't come back.
His knee, right? A guy rolled up on his knee.
Yeah, and Sanborn came in for him. So I doubt they're going to trade, the guy who's supposed to play for him. And he's a young, controllable player.
All right. Sharon saying teams say they're broke all the time. All the time. Classic.
And they say that when they don't want to do anything.
Right. We got no money for free agency.
Listen, we were broke when we signed Von Miller to a $120 million deal. There's a way to do it.
Yeah, and don't forget, we also added 12 more players that year on top of Von Miller. So it wasn't like Von Miller was the only dude, we went ham that year in the offseason when we got Von Miller. We got a lot of players that year. So yeah, no, man. Don't listen to that cap crap.
Carl says, Tommy, you can only push the money into the future so many years. Well, the Saints are at what, year 15 of doing that?
Carl, trust me. And the cap always goes up at some point. It's almost every year. Very rare. I think the cap only went down one time or barely, and that was, I think, COVID year or whatever. But nah, man, trust me, we'll be fine. You can make it work. Every team, and they're all. By the way, too, a lot of these players, you can either restructure down the line or you can cut, save some money that way. Happens all the time. Players get cut. So I mean, we're just talking about Trey White. If let's say we did get a corner, I don't know what's the number on that. If we cut Trey
next year, it saves you like $8 or $9 million.
Okay, so exactly. So there's
I would have
guys
to look it up, but I have this up right now. So
okay, no, it's cool. But I'm just saying, my point is, there's always cuts that could be made. There's always restructures. Not every deal
resigns.
Resign, right? Resign extensions. So it all could be worked out.
Yep, cap's going to go up, and Allen's our biggest one. We can continue pulling the lever. At some point, we have to take the hit on Allen, and but we can keep pulling the lever on Allen as much as we need to, and then just resign him to a new deal, push more money out. There's ways to do it.
Yes, correct.
Like they just did with Patrick Mahomes. They just re-signed him to a second deal and pushed more money out so they can do things.
And trust me, they ain't complaining KC, bro.
Yep.
Fans ain't complaining about KC.
We're not going to trade Elam because they're not going to get value for him.
They got to get something. Listen, Triggs, here's the deal. At this point, that's why I was joking around, give me a couple pizzas. But serious talk, though, if they keep doing what they're doing with Elam and just put him on the bench, inactive, what's going to happen is the value's not going to get, it's going to be totally zero. So, I'll take almost anything at this point if they're planning on that. Now, if they really, truly believe that Elam somehow could still be part of this defense, which I don't believe at this point, then fine. You keep him, you don't trade him. But I don't think so. I mean, this is insanity to me because if this was any position, I feel, other than we're a corner, if this was our quarterback, this is our running back, a receiver, I think Bills Mafia would be going
guard.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. That you know what I mean? But they're not really. Everyone's kind of being soft on Elam right now. And I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying everybody's kind of being it is what it is. But bro, that's a first round pick that's not even playing, that the coach refuses to even start. That's crazy to me. So if that's how he feels about him, take your L and get what you can at this point, because he's losing value every game he sits. So that's how I feel about it. I told you guys from the get-go. Y'all didn't want to listen to me then. I hope you're starting to listen to me now, because I'm telling you right now what's going to happen. And I've seen it before, Mikey, where teams have drafted first or second round players, held on to them. They did nothing, and they wind up cutting them and getting absolutely nothing.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Happens all the time. And I don't want to be that team where we're he was, we cut him. We got nothing. So we got to get something, man. Something in return.
Yeah. Mario's right. Elam's our most athletic corner. The problem is you have a coach who doesn't like him or trust him. So
exactly.
I don't know. Did you watch the game last night? Did you watch the game last night?
Huh?
Did you watch the game last night?
No.
Okay. So in the game last night, you had young corners on both sides of the ball.
Right? Oh, I'm sorry. I watched bits and pieces, but go ahead.
I watched young corners hold, get PI calls, get burnt, and they're just rolling with their young guys. They're letting them learn. They're getting better. Then they make a good play, and it's like, okay, you saw it. The difference is our coach will do it with offensive tackle. We let Spencer Brown learn on the job.
Oh, 100%. Right.
He got roasted over and over and over, and they're like, nope, we trust him.
Right.
But you don't trust the corner. Makes zero sense to me. It's a double standard.
But that's even more reason to move on then, because
here's the problem.
Standard. I don't like Elam, and I agree with Mario. What I saw in Elam last season was definitely was potential there. He made some mistakes, and that's gonna happen. He's a rookie, but to not even give him an opportunity week 1 of a second season is crazy to me, bro. It's craziness. Mikey, if they started him week 1 of this season, or at least had him active and he played, and he did terrible for the first 4 weeks, Mikey, I'm up for it. Fine, bench him, right? He played bad first 4 weeks of the season. He's still not getting it. He's getting a lot of PIs. Second year, you shouldn't do that. But they didn't even give him an opportunity. He made him inactive for the first month. So clearly there's a disconnect there. So, that's why I'm saying trade him. And do I feel it's right what they're doing to him or McDermott's done to him? Absolutely not. But at this point, guess what? Sean McDermott's the head coach and he's a defensive coordinator. There is no pool right now. Like Leslie Frazier, put it this way. If Leslie Frazier was DC, maybe Elam would have played week 1. I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there because he did have Elam play when Frazier was DC. But now that's McDermott's, this is his DC head coach. I think that's it.
Two comments. One, Mario comes in and says he drafted a man corner play zone scheme. That's like giving Tommy salad when he asks for steak.
Exactly. And that's a no-go, bro.
And then Roy comes in and says a bad corner gives up points. A bad right tackle does not. The bad right tackle could actually end your season. Did you not see what happened to Josh Allen last year with a bad right tackle? He messed up his UCL.
Yeah.
I would much rather give up a touchdown than lose my star quarterback.
And Mario's right on this too. And I said this too. And I told Mikey this too. So his confidence is shot. Brought in a 35-year-old to play special teams. So I thought I think his confidence was shot when he did the interview, Mario, when he said, you could tell he was down. When he was like, I used to be the best high school football player. I was like one of the top. I was one of the top college players on my team. And now I'm on this team and I'm like, I'm like on the bench. And it was a little like, tough on me. Clearly still tough on him. And then you got benched for the first 4 weeks of the season on your second year. Oh, his confidence was way shot. And that's why I told Mikey when he came on the field in London, I guarantee his confidence was at all-time low. And you could tell. And I don't know if it's ever got back. Even his second game when we came back to play and played who did we play when we got back from London, Mikey? The Giants. Mm-hmm. So I still don't think it was right. So it could be, and that's why guys like that need a fresh start somewhere else. And it could just be he needs a fresh start somewhere else for a team that believes in him. That's it. A coach that believes in him. But I will say this, if he gets traded somewhere else on a scheme that's for him, more man, and he still, fails to see the field or just doesn't do good, then he would just be a plain out bust altogether. You know what I mean?
He doesn't click with this staff for whatever reason. McDermott's able to get things out of everybody every corner that comes in here. It doesn't click with him. There must be a disconnect between him and McDermott that they can't get. And 100%. I want to hit on
which one
on this question. Roy comes in. Where was it?
Roy.
He said he wasn't the left tackle when he got hurt. It's the point. It's the it wasn't Spencer Brown. Doesn't matter. Spencer Brown wasn't there because he couldn't stay on the field.
Right.
And the point is you have a right tackle that loses us could possibly lose us a season versus a corner who could give up a touchdown.
Right.
It's the double standard. Cody Ford, how many shots did he get?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if so much of it's adversity though with Elam Triggs. I think it's more just when your coach doesn't believe in you, your head coach, that kind of sucks. Like that's going to not like I think he could have went through adversity. I think if he was still, given an opportunity and had to learn and do it, and his coach was like, "Hey man, you got this. Don't worry about that mistake." I think he could have got through it. But once your coach is like, "Hey man, we don't believe in you, bro. Even when we got you back, we don't, you didn't do shit. Go back on the bench. We got Josh Norman coming for you. He's going to replace you." Bro, come on, man. That's not adversity. That's just, you got, I think everyone would say that. I think if Mikey worked at a job and the owner was like, "Bro, I don't know, Mike, just get off this call, man. I got somebody else. Just we'll call you when we need it. Trust me." That sucks. So I get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not adversity. It's just somebody not believing you. You got to go elsewhere. It's your leader saying, "Nah, man, we're good without you." And that sucks, dude. So time to move on from the kid, man. Do the kid justice.
Is Benford getting crapped on right now? Because I thought Benford's played fantastic. I think he's our best corner right now.
Who's saying Benford? I think Benford is our best corner right now. I think he had a great game. I don't by who? I don't know. Somebody in the chat. I don't know. I listen. I think he's our best corner right now, but he's okay. He still has a lot to learn. I still think he's going through. I still think he's learning on the job, kind of say. But I don't think he'll ever be our CB1. Now that's not a knock on him, but he lacks speed. That's the one thing, and the NFL is getting fast, bro. You got teams like Miami that says nothing but speed. He gets back in the play and makes a play on the ball, but it's not always. Sometimes he gets got. So we need a number one, and that's why Trey was so important, right? Because we were good with Trey and Benford at the two. Like nobody complained, even though Elam was on the bench. We're like, it is what it is. But now Trey's out, we got a problem because there's no number one. Let's be real. There's no number one on this team right now as corner spot. Okay. So that's why me and Mikey feel like corner right now is the top priority if we're going to make a trade. If that's fair, Mikey.
I don't know, Mario. That's a great question. Why can a kid like Benford, a fifth rounder, get it, but Elam can't? I think part of it has to do with Benford comes from a background of both man and zone. But he also played safety, so he had a lot of different experiences in college and stuff. And from my understanding, Elam's never not played press man. Like high school, he played press man. College, he played press man. Like he had never been trained as a zone. Why he wasn't trained as zone when his dad was a former NFL, player, and his uncle was a former first rounder, like makes no sense to me. And why he can't pick it up, I don't know. Mm-hmm. It could go back to they just doesn't click with the coaching staff that can find a way to, get into his head.
Yeah.
No one's messing with that defense. Put Wrap over Benford, hide over Elam, and put Poyer in the box for Milano. It's one of those things. It's weird. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lost. At least EJ played some, but did he though?
Scott, you're in Chicago, right? I think Scott. I'm in Detroit, so it's 40 degrees, right? It's 40 degrees out, so I'm loving it, man. I love the cold, man. 38 in Buffalo right now.
And Roy, yes, we can absolutely agree to disagree. That's the best part about this show. Come in, you don't have to
100%.
That's the best part about
100%.
All right, anyways, let's get back to the corners that are out there.
No, don't give me no AJ Klein all damn day.
Mario's just in here trolling us.
Yeah, he is. I was so, bro.
But
I was
in
so
his defense, I do it to him all the time.
So you're getting Mikey back. All right,
I do it to him all the time. Looking through here, Steven Nelson, Jeff Okuda, Ohio State. That's another one you never want from Ohio State. The corners of Ohio State just don't seem to work out.
Yep.
CJ Henderson, he's been a guy who's been traded a couple times. I didn't know how much fun this was. It's a lot of fun, especially when you catch the eye of the, of the content creator, and then they stop what they were saying just to read what you had to say. That's always fun.
Damn, Raiders. So right now, just a heads up, because I know some of you guys are watching or peeking over to the Monday Night Football game. So Raiders just scored on an interception for a touchdown. 16-14 Lions in the third quarter.
I know the Lions were going into score, and there was a pile at the bottom. It showed the running back on the ground, and they ripped it out, and they called it a fumble and gave it to him, even after replay.
Wow, he wasn't really?
Yeah, it showed him laying on the ground.
That's interesting because yesterday or Sunday, there was a play like that. Forget what game it was, Mikey, but both players kind of, the receiver had the ball, went to the ground, and the guy took it away on the ground. They both had a hand a little bit, but the corner kind of grabbed it at the, and they called it interception, but then they did the replay and they reversed it to a catch. Oh, the Saints receiver. Forget his name, the fast dude over there, but same call, but they did the right thing. I'm surprised they did that, unless they saw the ball moving before he hit, Mikey. But that's
I don't know. Mario comes in and says return for Levi. Absolutely nothing.
Damn, well, Lions scored already.
Leave him there.
23-14 Lions.
Leave him there. Do not bring Levi back to this team.
Yeah, I'm here. It's so odd seeing his name pop up, and that's
do people forget about 13 seconds? He was the corner.
God. So concerning. If we start bringing back guys like that, dude.
Mario, I hate Levi Wallace. You can tell Paul that too. I hate Levi Wallace.
Yeah, he's not a fan. I see. Me and Mikey differ there a little bit. I don't hate him. I respect what he did here after free agent. Worked his way on the field. Was he good or great? No, but I thought he was I thought he was a decent player, man. I better than a lot of the guys I think that were our third corner at the time, but he had limitations. He was very slow. He got beat off the ball a lot. He didn't get into play back in on the play, make a play on the ball. But still gotta respect a guy like that to earn a spot on the team, Mikey. So I don't hate the guy.
Let me ask you this question: the Raiders, if they lose tonight, are pretty much going to be done, right? What about Marcus Peters? What's your thought on Marcus Peters?
I wouldn't mind him. I mean,
played in a lot of different systems.
Depending on what they want, of course. Raiders are struggling. I think Raiders are going to line up losing this game. So it is going to be interesting to see what the Raiders, if they're going to be in play tomorrow. Because I have a feeling they will lose tonight. Detroit's a better team. They should win this game at home. Mm-hmm. You would think the Raiders would be on the market, but once again, I would think the Broncos would be too, and they're not supposedly. But like you said, he's willing to pick up the phone, but he's not really shopping anyone, which is I still think it's stupid. But there's going to be teams like Carolina, even though they won one, it's still there'll be shoppers out there tomorrow. It just depends on what Beane's willing to give up. Really, at the end of the day, man. And what they're asking, obviously, some players aren't going to be worth it. You know what I mean? Some teams are going to ask way too much, and I'm not saying, that's another thing too. Like I'm glad Beane sometimes doesn't pull the trigger on some of these, because some of these deals are bad. Some deals are bad. They give up way too much for a player, and we're like, ooh, I want to do that. So I get that part, but at the same time, man, you got to roll the dice somewhere, sometime. But
Marcus Peters fits in with the salary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would make sense.
Ronald Darby.
Ronald Darby. Oh.
I like Darby when he
was they kicked him to the curb when the first time. I doubt they're bringing him back.
Yeah.
I doubt he would want to come back. Christian Fulton, in LSU corner. I could see, he kind of fits that mold, but it's Titan, so who knows what they're gonna do.
Hey, 50 in the live. Woo! Would love it. Yeah, guys. So I guess, because, Connor's saying it, so why not? I'll say it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I always forget to tell you.
Right? right? So if Beane takes a corner at the deadline, he's admitting that he made a mistake. If he doesn't, he can just say that Elam needs more reps. I think they've admitted they made the mistake by bringing up Norman and making him inactive.
That speaks volumes.
How do you come back from that?
And I told Mikey the day we signed Norman. Remember, I told you, I said, if they call up Josh Norman, 35-year-old Josh Norman, who hasn't done shit, who wasn't even good when he was here in Buffalo the last time, if they call him up and make Elam inactive, that's a wrap, bro. And I think Mike was like, nah, right? You're like, no, I doubt that. Bro, it happened the very following week. That quick. Bro, it was quick. And that's it. That speaks volumes. That right there, it's over. I'm saying, tell you guys, ain't no more Elam, bro. And I told you guys from the get-go, I don't think Elam would have played if there was no injuries. Period. I don't think you would have saw Elam all season long. So
yeah, I'm with you on the Norman's career ended with Henry stiff arm.
Oh,
Beth comes in and says Apple brings in knowledge of Cincy in Miami. You don't want any part of Eli Apple. He's burnt toast. There's a reason why he's on the bench.
I do not like him, bro. I've never liked Apple. Nope.
Beane has your house bugged, Tommy.
I know, right?
So let's quickly jump over to linebackers.
Canceled on YouTube available tomorrow.
The Bucks maybe, but I don't know if Devin White fits what we need. You know what I mean? I just don't think it does.
I still would. I'll be honest with you though.
I'd rather take Levante
listen, him. I know. I'm just saying though. Let's just say hypothetically, those guys aren't available, whatever, and all right, we'll go back to the Devin White talk. Him over Dotson, I'll do it all day, every day, any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? I really would. Dotson is bad, bro. Give me Devin White all day, bro.
Devin White can play in a Tampa 2. He would fit nicely. Okay. You think he'd fit well, Mario? All right.
I do. I do, especially with Dotson. I just can't do Dotson anymore this season, guys. I can't.
I would love I'd love Levante David. I think because he would fit outside. Frankie Luvu, I think is how you say it. I wouldn't mind him. Jordan Hicks is an interesting one. I don't know what the Vikings are going to do. They got back into the season, but then they lost their quarterback.
Yep. I'll tell you what, Scott. I've watched both. I'll be honest with you. It is fun going to an outdoor kind of environment. Like if it's snow, like I enjoy it, but I'm more so looking at the team, how they play in that shitty environment. And we don't tend to play well. So, yeah, I would have preferred a dome in the new stadium just because we just don't play good in our own open stadium. But as a fan, give me that snow, give me that rain, it just makes it for more football related. Like domes are all right. They're a little boring to me. I don't know. That's how I feel. Yeah. But everyone's different, man.
Mario comes in and says Bills can't do Dotson anymore either. That's why Poyer was in the box for 15 plays. I want to see Poyer in the box more. I want to see more of that dime defense.
Yes.
Get rid,
and we talked, by the way, and now they did it differently, Mario, but me and Mikey talked about this before the season even started when we were going, man, mind you, this was middle linebacker at the time because we didn't know who outside linebacker. We were good. We Milano, but we were talking about, I wonder how it would look if we had Rapp in there, because Rapp we used to go down in the box as well with the Rams, and it would be a good little look. And we weren't saying full time, but we were saying we could do that. It would be good to see if McDermott dials that scheme up. And look, he dialed it up, but he did reverse. He did the opposite. But either way, I'd be good with that. I would totally be fine with that if they don't wind up getting a linebacker,
I'm hitting on Beth's question real quick, Tommy.
Yeah.
The major reports stating the Bills and Titans were in heavy talks. From everything from I heard, the Titans after the win yesterday pulled Henry off the trade market.
Yeah,
and that's why Lenny's here.
Right. Yeah, because I had my source that says that they were definitely talking. That doesn't mean like, everything was about to happen, but they definitely were having talks, communication, whatever. But that win yesterday and then the play of the rookie quarterback, I think they dialed it back with Henry now. And I even think it probably possibly the way that what's his name D-Hop performed with the rookie. I mean, you never know what moving forward what the Titans do with Henry. If they feel like this could be a connection between him and the rookie for a little bit, if they wind up extending Henry's contract, because that was Henry's best. Not Henry. That was D-Hop's best game of the season with the rookie quarterback who's never played with. And sometimes you have a connection like that right away. So it will be interesting. I don't think I think both guys are off the table at this point because of that.
I don't think they're trading anybody on offense. I don't think they're trading anybody else, to any point. Yes, Henry can't catch. He's not one of those, pass. At least Lenny has the ability to go out in routes and has good hands.
Yep.
So what's your thoughts on Jordan Hicks with the Vikings? What's your thought on the Vikings? Do you think they're going to be sellers, knowing that they got back to 500 and now they lost the quarterback?
So I'm hearing for the Vikings talks about them trading for Winston, by the way, which would make sense for this year.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that, guys, for the Vikings to go after Winston. I could definitely see that happening, and it would make sense for that team. Obviously he turns the ball over a lot, but it gives him more of an opportunity. He still could throw the ball downfield, so has a good arm. You know what I mean? And you never know. You still can win with him. But will they be? I think they are looking to probably move a few players. I still don't know how comfortable they are, even if they get Winston, moving forward, like with that team, and then Jefferson, how long is he out for? A while, right?
A couple more weeks,
2-3 weeks. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be players, but I would think that if they don't wind up getting a quarterback some part of tomorrow, or if they're not, then they could definitely be shopping around, loading up on picks. And we'll see, man.
I've heard that Minnesota is in talks with the Cowboys about Trey Lance. I just don't know if Jerry Jones would be willing to give him up. Because Trey Lance comes from the 49ers and Shanahan's offense, which is a version of McVay's offense, which the head coach comes from McVay there. Yeah. So they said it would be a faster transition. But then you're putting in an unproven guy there.
Yeah. You see, for me, Mikey, if I'm the Vikings GM, I think I'd be more intrigued on the Winston, because you got a vet guy. You know what he could do. You know his limitation. You also know what he can't do. He turns the ball over, but Winston's not a bad quarterback. Like so I would think, me personally, and obviously depends on what the price tag is on him, or what they're asking, but I would go for Winston, because Trey Lance did not look good when he played for the 49ers. There's a big reason why they didn't even attempt to have him compete with Purdy. They just moved on. So, and if they're already looking to move on from Trey Lance, he's probably not.
I don't know if they're looking to move on from him. I'm
just saying, if he is even in the market of being traded or whatever, if they threw his name out there, that they'd be willing to listen.
Trick Simpson says I would go for Patrick Queen. Why not? Well, the reason why is he's probably not available. He's starting on an elite defense that has Super Bowl aspirations, so I doubt they're letting him go. Aaron Donald, D-Hop, and CB. I don't care. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? Beane did not turn off,
Minnesota call Brady. I bet they did.
Did not turn on unfair trades. It's one of those things. Winston comes with no extra charge. It's one of those things. It's odd. Yeah. So looking here, there's not a ton of really, great linebackers that aren't on teams that are already, in contention that they're not going to get rid of. What's Kuechly doing? Chilling at the house. That's what Kuechly's doing. He's chilling at the house. He comes and visits us every off season. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Comes and visits every off season, just chilling. All right.
Yeah, so, doesn't look washed. Yeah, no, he didn't look washed to me. Like,
what other position do you want to look at?
Do it.
Yeah, give him a quarterback who can throw the ball.
Let's go wide receiver because that's really the other one that I would be only offensive position I would be intrigued. With
what we need is Ramon Humber. Yes, that's what we need is a little bit more. You know, we need at least an average starting caliber linebacker, corner for depth, and D tackle that can eat double teams. So let's look at wide receivers. We have Mike Evans, who I would absolutely love to get. Ain't gonna happen, but I would love to get him.
He looks so miserable, by the way, out there on when we played
Thursday night.
Thursday. He just doesn't look like he wants to be there. But I'm just reading his body language. I could be totally wrong, and he loves Baker Mayfield, but he just doesn't look happy.
Mario seems to be having a great time in the chat.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
What about Odell Beckham? He's starting to get pretty pissy over there in Baltimore.
Well, they paid him. He has no right to be pissy. Paid him a handsome amount of money.
Yep.
Like he should be freaking happy.
He's not because he's not getting.
Nope. Skip that. I don't. Like I thought I wanted him last year. Nope.
Curtis Samuel. Commanders.
Interesting. You'd be interesting. Interesting player.
Although I don't know if he's a true wide receiver. He's more of a gadget guy. So I don't know if he'd fit what we want to do.
Right. He's interesting. Like I said, interesting. He's not a bad player.
Boyd isn't an option.
Yeah,
Michael Thomas isn't an option.
No, but I would love him too, man. He's good.
Cedric Wilson Jr. is not an option. DJ Chark's interesting. He's got speed, deep threat, got some hands. Hasn't really played with an elite quarterback yet.
Yep.
You know, Kendrick Bourne just tore his ACL, so he's done for the year.
I know, poor guy, man. Patriots just cannot catch a break, bro.
That's fine. They cheated their way to like multiple Super Bowls.
I'm just saying, my God, man. They're just breaking all over,
man. Paris Campbell, I'm not sure that he really fits what we would need. Barrios ain't going anywhere. Aguilar ain't going anywhere. Josh Jones not going anywhere. Marquise Brown, I don't think he fits us.
Yeah, they were talking about he could be on the block, but no, I'm good. I'm good with Brown.
T. Higgins, Michael Pittman
Jr.
Would be great. He's not going anywhere, though.
No, I know. Hey, Ray McLeod. Guys, remember him?
Laviska Shenault, who is more of a weapon. He's not really a wide receiver.
Hey, good one. Our old player. Another one of our old players.
Van Jefferson. Sterling Shepard would be interesting. That's a guy who has proven numbers. Yes, Ben D-Hop's the only one I want to. I just have a feeling after last week they're going to keep him for the young guy. Same reason why I don't think Adam Thielen is available. I think from a
only guy
perspective that they would trade. They would want to trade him, but they're not going to because they want to keep some weapons around their young quarterback.
Adams would be interesting too, man, but I just don't know if they're going to deal. And I don't know what they would want. I don't know how we would pull it off, but I think D-Hop and Adams for me.
I don't think Adams would work because we would need them to eat money, and Mark Davis is not someone who eats money.
Right. As I'm saying, unless they just feel like unless Adams is like, no, we don't know what's going to happen if tonight and tomorrow morning. If Adams wants out, you never know. Sometimes players could push for a trade too. And they could get a deal. I mean, you never know. We've seen crazier things happen, but I'm just saying overall, receiver-wise, if I could have my pick of the litter, would be Adams or D-Hop for sure. Like I would definitely
Evans.
I'd be good. Oh, Evans. Mike Evans. I'm sorry. Those three. Yeah. Those three. Those
Mike
three.
Evans
I would definitely.
A fantastic one too.
All bigger receivers too, man. Physical. They got some speed to them. I'm not super fast, but they got speed to them. They're not slow either. The reason I'd be up for it.
Trey comes in and says Thielen doesn't look washed either. Thielen gets so much disrespect. I don't get it. Also, Thielen and Stephon Diggs are extremely close. They're like really, really good friends. And that's why I thought he would be great number 2 in here.
Yeah, Sherfield was good. Listen, I was so excited when we got Trent Sherfield. I was like, dude, I'm like, this dude's gonna be good. Like, he's gonna be a big part of the offense. Him and Josh were connecting in mini camp and training camp. I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna be he was excited, man. Dorsey has a place for everyone. I can't wait to get on the field, man. It's been a disaster. So I don't know, trade him back to Miami, get some picks or something. You know what I mean? Like, damn, man.
Yeah, it's just something. But I'm not seeing like anything in here that excites me from a Darnell Mooney would be interesting.
Yeah. That's another player.
From a money standpoint, it makes sense. He's more of a speed demon, but I think he'd be a good number 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
No,
we can always trade for Isaiah Hodgins.
Yeah,
he knows the system.
Yeah. He's not a number 2 though. I'd rather just. No. I'm talking about, needle mover. Now that would be something though. If he makes a trade, it's going to be one of these guys that we totally just skipped. It'll be like some funky name guy.
It'll be an Isaiah Hodgins type.
Right. Exactly.
Just not the guy that's going to get lost in the sauce.
Right. Yeah, lost in the sauce. Yep. Golly. Did we look at defensive tackle?
Nope. We can go look at him right now.
Yeah, might as well. Even though I think Sue would be probably his best option for a cheap and a good player, a guy that could fit in right away and play. I'd be good, totally fine with that.
I'm the Keaton Lee Johnson of this chat. Get it right. A lot of effort in 1 or 2 plays. That's Mario for you. A lot of effort in 1 or 2 hits. Leonard Williams just got dealt. Chris Jones ain't going anywhere. DJ Reader isn't going anywhere. Marcus Davenport, he's more of an edge than Grover Stewart's not going anywhere. Fletcher Cox, no. Sheldon Rankins, no. Autry's interesting. Cost a lot of money, but he's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They also were saying that there's a good chance Daquan's coming back at the end of the year. So I have a weird feeling we're not trading for a D lineman.
Yeah, it's possible. That's why I'm saying Sue would be an interesting pickup while Daquan is rehabbing. But but still, though, you don't know in Daquan. It's not. You don't know the week or what game to play if we make the playoff. Like, it's still a risk. But Sue to me would be the smarter.
That's what I think. Yeah, I do too. I think Sue fits in. Also,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shorter's now, Mario. I'm with you. Man. I think I did a video on him, man. I think Shorter could be a good player if he gets gets past the injury bug. One, gain a little weight, though he's freaking ripped and shredded like a beast. But just a little bit more actually weight to him. But man, I like his size, his speed. But yeah, he needs to work on his routes as well. Not the smoothest route runner in the world, but
got a lot of speed though.
He does, and if he gets it down and height, 6'4", gets all that done, I think he can be a good player in this league. But will we give him an opportunity? That's the problem. I don't know. No idea.
He has the body size of AJ Brown and DK Metcalf, the physique, without the polish, because he has the tools. He was the number one kid coming out of high school, over Jamar Chase. He just never polished his game. He's wrong.
Yeah. Well, Roy, he actually started playing much better his last 2 years in college in Florida.
Yeah.
So you definitely saw like the improvement. It's just he got hurt. Like he continued to get hurt. Like that's the problem with Shorter. So he has to figure a way to like stay healthy. And I don't know, sometimes it's bad luck. So but if he can, get with the right trainers and maybe just work on that, I don't know how you work on that, but staying healthy. But he has to stay healthy and he has to grind. It's the route running to me. It's probably the one that sticks out. He's not the greatest route runner. He needs to work on that a little bit. And then we'll see. And then then also he has to have the opportunity to showcase what he could do. If the Bills do what he did, like with Hodgins, basically not really give him much opportunity. Like just kind of stash him away for a while. Then eventually someone's going to pick him up, just like the Giants picked up Hodgins. So just throwing that out there.
Okay. I'm not really seeing a whole lot on the defensive tackle market.
All right, switch to what did we already do? Corners, linebackers, receivers,
cornerbacks,
tackles,
linebackers, receivers, and defensive line.
Yeah. I guess that's it, right?
That's the main ones that we were looking at.
And by the way, we worked out some tight end today. Who do we work out today? Or we're working out second round.
I don't know.
Former second round of the Chicago Bears.
We've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Later, Mario. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Hey, we appreciate you, bro. We love picking up like trying out these old,
former day two
first
picks.
round, second round. Yeah. Didn't we have one we picked up? Didn't we have one we wound up getting and we cut him? I forget who it was this year.
Stone. It was the tight end. It was a Stoneberger or something like that.
Okay. No, I mean I thought we invited like a first round guy to camp or something. He wound up getting cut. I forget who it was. It was. I'm sorry. You know who it was?
Who was it?
The guy that didn't make the team that we were kind of rooting for in the beginning. What's his name? From Denver. That played with Von Miller.
Oh, Shane Ray.
Yeah. Wasn't he a first rounder?
Yeah, he was a first rounder.
What I forgot what happened with Shane Ray. What he just
hamstring injury that.
Oh, that's right. He got hurt. Yes. Injury settlement, right?
Too. Yep, injury settlement.
Oh, it sucks, man. See, that might have been a guy if he didn't get hurt. You know, who knows? But
Johnny Wilson may be a biscuit away from being a tight end, brother.
Man, that's a tall dude, bro.
Right?
6'7". God, that's a big dude.
232. No, not much bigger than he becomes a tight end.
No, but he's thin though.
Dude,
that's not. He needs that's a player. He needs to put some weight on.
Roy wants to look at the tight end.
6'7".
Hunter Henry.
He ain't going anywhere. He's our main tight end. He's absolute no, and I don't think he's going anywhere. They just signed him. Though he's not doing much. Oh, unless it's against us. Mike Gesicki's not doing much this year.
Robert Tonyan. Tonyan wouldn't be a bad, secondary one.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how long Dawson Knox is going to be out.
Holy shit. Mercedes Lewis is still in the NFL. That guy's been around, seems like 25 years.
Still kicking with the Bears.
God.
Still getting his $2 million paycheck a year.
Oh, my God. That dude would never retire, bro.
Jimmy Graham's still kicking around, too.
Guy played with Dan Marino, bro.
Right? Example. Yeah, that's not. Tommy Sweeney.
Tommy Sweeney. Yeah, come on back, Tommy.
Johnny Wilson is the Darren Waller 2.0. That is great. Kevin Reeder, Bryce Hopkins, Colby Parkinson, Jody Fortson.
I remember when everyone wanted to see more Tommy Sweeney on the field. And then everyone wanted to see Tommy Sweeney off the field.
Once I saw him on the field, like, never mind, I lied. No thanks.
So damn, that was quick.
We wanted to see him until we saw him. Then we're like, nope.
Right. Yeah.
Never mind.
All right, we're good, bro.
I lied.
We had enough.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Right. Yeah. See, everyone. Holy shit, Mercedes Lewis.
Cole Kmet would be a good one, but I think he's part of their offense. I don't think they'd be looking to trade their starting tight end. Also, would we really trade for a starting tight end that would become tight end 3 in Buffalo?
I would hope not. I really would hope not. Like, honestly, Mikey, the last thing I'm looking for is a tight end. Yeah.
Well, I went to tight end because they said
no. I'm just saying, like in general, like Beane don't even like fine free agent. Some freaking guy hasn't played. Whatever.
Who's going to be a free agent next year for safety? Because we're going to need that next year.
Yeah, go ahead.
We don't need it now.
Micah Hyde, there we go. You signed
right at the top.
There's our guy.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Chuck Clark will be back from his ACL.
Yep.
Mike Edwards is having a great year for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a great year for the Chiefs. Harris, Xavier McKinney, Kyle Duggar.
By the way,
Duggar is going to be a free agent, huh?
Nobody complained about our video background tonight, Mikey.
Yeah, nice.
I thought 100%.
We got a couple. I like the background. We did get a couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you guys are good with the background? Because I'll keep it going on. We can only do it on Mondays because our Fridays we use a different stream.
Yeah.
They don't offer that yet, which I hope they do because I think it's pretty cool, man. Right, go ahead, Mike. Sorry,
Antoine Winfield Jr. is gonna be a free agent. I'd love to have him in Buffalo.
Man, dude,
wouldn't that be awesome to have him in Buffalo?
Abso-freaking-lutely. Let me call his dad. Tell him get him over. Do the right thing, Chin. Antoine Winfield Sr. Talk to your son.
Give me some Winfield Jr. and Jeremy Chin together.
Oh, dude, all day, bro. Love that player. Ooh. Damn good.
Love to have those two guys together.
Absolutely.
Both free agents next year. And we're going to need probably 2 new safeties.
He says we'll bring back Rapp 100%. That could be also an option. I don't mind Taylor Rapp. I think Taylor Rapp, he has a little limitations, but I like that he could play both in the box, and I like his aggressiveness. Sometimes it costs him some penalties here and there, but I do like his play. I do.
Too. I like how he hits.
Yeah, I'm all good with it.
It depends on who's going to go with Rapp. Is really going to say a lot of it.
Ben says, no way.
No way. Let him go. Yeah, I don't think so either, but man, wouldn't that be awesome if they did?
Yep.
I'd love me some. I have a feeling they're going to have to blow that bad boy up. From a cap standpoint, they're still paying Brady for like the next year or two.
And they're going to have to figure it out. Yeah. They're going to have to figure it out too on the whole I don't know what do they wind up giving Mayfield? Oh, was he only 1 year deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to have to decide what they want to do with him. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't throw my chips in
1 year, $4 million.
You know what I mean? Like I want to throw all my chips on Baker Mayfield and give him a contract. That's kind of like what Tennessee did with Tannehill, and it's kind of backfiring on him. Though I think Tannehill's a middle of the, I thought he was a middle quarterback there, middle of the range quarterback. He wasn't good, but he wasn't bad. He was right there in the middle. But he's gotten worse, Mikey, as the years gone by with Tennessee, and he got a decent contract. So I don't think Tampa if Tampa wants to risk it, go ahead. But I certainly wouldn't. If I'm a GM, I'm like, hey, you want to come back as a backup or compete? We're going to go ahead and draft this guy. You could compete with him. We'll give you another year or two. That's up to you. But if you think you're a starting quarterback out the gate, you want to be named starter, then it ain't going to be us. I'd be honest as all honest could be, bro. So, yeah.
I think that's where Baker's career is headed, Scott. He's going to be
100%. And that wouldn't be bad. I'd take him as a backup.
He's going to be one of the best backups in the league because he's a guy who can win you a few games. You just can't consistently,
right. We need some games, energize the crowd a little bit.
Same with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's going to be a career backup, and he's going to have,
exactly.
He's going to be a really good backup.
There's a lot of guys like that are decent, actually. That I think Gardner Minshew is another guy like. I think really good backup.
After the other Josh Allen next year, he's not getting out of Jacksonville. They're going to franchise him,
dude. And the way he's playing now, if he had an okay season or whatever, I think they would maybe move on. But bro, he seems to be getting only better. So I would be shocked if they don't figure something out.
There's a lot of running backs coming up: Henry Jacobs, Saquon, Pollard, Dalvin Cook, Eckler.
Boy, Dalvin Cook made a huge mistake going to the Jets.
Right. DeAndre Swift. All guys that are going to be free agents again. Cam Akers.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins. Kareem Hunt.
Like, honestly, at this point, man, depending on what a running back wants, I'd avoid it. I'd avoid it and go, you get a running back. You just try again in the draft, bro. They're cheap. You don't have to worry about this guy's wanting to get paid.
A lot of good.
No, there is, but Henry's, I still want to mind Henry, but he's going to want money. You skip that. Josh Jacobs, skip that. He's going to want a ton. Saquon Barkley is going to want money, clearly. He's the best player on the team. And look, they gave him what he wanted, kind of, for one more year. Tony Pollard's going to probably stay a Cowboy. Dalvin Cook's the one. He'll be out there, and you know what? He might be cheaper because of what he did so far this season. So that might be interesting. I like Patterson, but he's more of a,
I love DeAndre, but he's so much like James Cook.
Yeah, I like Swift too. Yep.
But he's just like he's a James Cook clone.
Yeah, there's Motor. Wow, Motor. That's right. Motor only got 1 year.
Yeah, you got a 1 year deal.
Yeah, we're not taking back. Harris is gone too. We're not going to get
JK's been injured so many times. It'll be interesting to see if he has any. Like, I can see him going back to the Ravens, re-signing on a 1 year deal.
I think Hunt's going to be a 1 year guy everywhere for the rest of his career, it seems like, right?
Yeah. Zach Moss will be interesting after his year this year.
They're not. He wouldn't want to come back here. We fucked him. And
no, not here. I'm just saying, just in general.
Oh yeah, in general, yeah.
You know,
he's too small. Anyways, I don't want another. That's the thing. I don't want another
small back,
like undersized back, like a James Cook. Like I like James Cook, but I just don't think his body will ever eat. Like I keep saying like kind of gain weight, maybe gain more muscle. Like Singletary was built already kind of big. He had a wider frame than Cook. You know what I mean? And it was easy for him to add on the muscle. I don't think Cook's that kind of like his body's not built like that. So I think he remains the same. You know what I mean? And that's limitations. That's why he gets blown up when he's trying to block and he whiffs a lot. Cause I don't think he likes that contact. He can't take the contact. So we need a bigger back. Like that's why Fournette's not a bad signing, guys. Like we need a guy like that, 6 foot, 225 pounds, but a younger guy. You know what I mean, Mikey?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still good with Cook, but we need that other bigger back, man. You can't keep going with these small backs, bro.
It's kind of the problem. It's the way the Bills are built, though. I swear we're built for a dome. We're a very finesse team.
No, and that's what I said. I like that as a fan.
Yeah.
I don't mind the outdoor environment. It's cool. It's fun, like to watch and see and go to, but our team is we're not built. Like that's why sometimes, I know we want home field advantage, but man, sometimes it's not all that. Like we tend to play better on the road.
Right.
So, you know what I mean, guys? So I'm just saying it's not always a bad thing to be on the road in the playoffs when it comes to us.
I'm with you on that. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm looking at the DNs. Tom, there's a bunch of them next year too. And there's not going to be enough room for all of them. So we may pull a, Leonard Floyd type deal next year and get, another elite guy down the stretch.
Yep. Let me give this update real quick on this score Monday Night Football game. So 26-14 Lions, 2nd and goal at the Raiders 11.
They just scored a touchdown and got a penalty.
5 minutes left. Yeah, they'll probably. But either way, this game's done. I don't see that. 5 minutes to go. I mean, they're going to score at least a field goal here, right?
Let's get my guy in the end zone.
Yeah,
Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's right. Gibbs is back, by the way. Yeah, Gibbs got back last week, I think, right?
Yep, had a great game last week too.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. Good running back. But yeah,
talking about backup quarterback, there's no way we're going to have Minshew or Darnold. They're going to be an upper tier paid. We're always going to not pay our backup a lot of money because we can't afford it. So we're either going to have to draft someone and develop them or continue with like the Kaiir Elams of the world.
See, Triggs, I'm telling you, tomorrow you never know what's going to happen with the Raiders. They're not they're not looking good. They are not a good team.
I have a feeling they're going to
players might want out.
They're going to
players might want out. Oh, dude, he's been terrible. Huh?
Terrible.
Really
terrible.
Bad. Hey, listen, that won't surprise me either. But Garoppolo, man. God, that was their GM for getting him too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Look at that guy, that running back there, man. Yeah.
I just need Garoppolo not to be a moron in fantasy.
243 pounds. That's a big back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
See, I haven't seen him. I don't know much about. I don't really I only watch the Hurricanes play, so I don't know who that is. But if he's 243 pounds and speed, he might be a beast.
Raheem Sanders was one of those unique Derrick Henry type backs.
Okay, doesn't have someone to be on the look.
Doesn't have the productions, but has the size and the speed. Who will probably
maybe become something.
Probably better pro than college guy.
Okay.
Very much like Breece Hall. Breece Hall was good in college, but what he's doing in the pros is way more.
Yeah, I was
impressive.
I was so wrong about him.
Me too.
Like I'll eat crow. I'll eat crow with that, man. Like I was. I was not wanting him.
Everything I saw in college,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
didn't look like it would translate, and then it,
me either. And but credit to him, maybe he put that extra work in, I don't know, but he's everything. He's good, man. He's damn good.
Yeah, Triggs, I'm with you on that. McDaniel's a better OC than coach, but you know what? So is Nerve Turner.
Yes, it happens sometimes. Some of these guys take jobs. They're just not. It's just not for them, man. You know.
Oh, Laporta had a touchdown and he dropped it.
Did he?
Oh.
Would they go for it? Because now it's 26-14.
No,
Raiders
they're getting ready to kick the field goal. Unless he
okay, because it was 23-14 before. What was the score before? I'm sorry.
26-14 right now, and they're getting ready to kick a field goal.
Then sorry, Mikey, they must have missed it because Vegas has the ball. It says,
or it gets blocked
at the Raiders 8. I know I'm a little ahead of you because I'm reading ESPN right here. I'm not watching. I'm on the.
Okay, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, so tell us in your time.
You know,
your delayed
goal. Yeah, my delayed time at the 8.
Yeah, tell us.
He missed it.
He missed it. Easy shot, huh?
Yeah. Like he kicked it from like the 10 and missed it, like a 20-yarder.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yikes.
See, I would be
that's
screaming F-bombs right now if that was televised.
Yes. So that's rough. So anyways, this kind of went off the rails tonight.
Yeah, we did. So guys, that was fun, man. We've been on here an hour and almost 40 minutes, man.
Yeah.
We had a really good time tonight with a chat, and we saw some old friends and Mario.
Yep.
And you guys like our new video background. So
Tommy's really proud of that video background.
I am, man. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I think it's a really neat design, man. So, anyways, Mikey, last words before we go?
Yeah, I want to hit Justin. Tyler Bass hasn't been awful.
Go ahead.
He had a 2-game bad stretch.
Yeah.
He hasn't been awful this year. He was money before that 2-game bad stretch.
Yeah, he's missed three field goals, I believe, right? So he's missed 3 in 2 games. 2 of them were 50+, you know, but there's still no excuse. You got to make your field goals. That's what we got you for, what we paid you for. Yeah. But it's only been 2 games. I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to kill him yet. But I will say, when he kicked that field goal last week, it was, I'm telling you, I heard Bill's Mafia go, oh. It was close, bro. That shit was to the left. Thank you, Carl, for the super chat.
Yes, let's do it right now. Trade Kaiir Elam and a first for Jefferson.
Go ahead. Now. Get it over with. I'm all good with it.
Yep. we turned the trade unfair trade.
Yeah, I'll switch it up, Roy. It's my Friday Night Lights. It's our intro for Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
I just wanted to try it for the first time to see what you guys thought. I'll probably mix it up again and you know, obviously not have the words, but it was just kind of me a trial run for tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you, Donkey. I'm praying for some wheeling and dealing and just get a corner in here, an elite corner. Give us a building block. Give us Jalen Johnson. Come on, Beane. Give us Jalen Johnson. Give up what you need to give up to get him. You know, you have your corner piece in the secondary when you do that. Go get him.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that all but does it, man. Unless anybody else has anything else to ask before we go, we'll wait for a second or two.
Adams is so pissed. Running all by himself.
What's going on right now? So you got 4th and 17.
Running all by himself, Tommy, and he overthrew him. All by himself. Not a soul within 50 yards of him. And he overthrew him.
Jimmy G missed him.
Overthrew him. Oh, remember that Super Bowl when he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders all by himself?
Not the good.
Very much the same thing. No, Levi Wallace. Triggs, don't you get me riled up again.
He's our DB and we need him out. Oh my
I know,
God.
Scott. I'm with you, brother.
All right, guys. Well, we're out of here, man. We've been on here
Well,
long enough. Mike's about to freak out if you got.
If we get Levi Wallace, you will see me melt down Friday night, and then you might not see me again.
Yeah. So I work Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday nights, but if I will say this though, obviously deadline's at 4, so if something does happen like that, I'll for sure pop on. Mikey works.
I will try.
But Mikey will try if something does happen. But if it's a trade like I said, like a fucking another DeMarlo type of trade, you ain't gonna hear shit from me, but Twitter where I'm pissed off. So
Adams
it needs to be something that moves the needle, guys. So
Levi Wallace makes my eye twitch. Beth, you're right.
Mikey's already going. That's getting red. He's about to punch the wall. So, anyways, guys, we love you, man. Bills Mafia, we love you as always. Go Bills. We're out of here. We'll play our outro right now. And see you later, guys.